Alright, this is going to be episode 1, I guess, of the FZ1 Chronicles. Picked this up a couple days ago. Rides pretty good. Up until yesterday, started feeling some really weird stuff in the rear end. And turns out the wheel bearing for the rear wheel is no good. There is a decent little bit of play in the rear wheel. Noticed that yesterday riding, rear end was feeling really unstable. That's not good. I'm getting a fucking tire changer. Fuck that. I definitely effed this wheel up trying to get that bearing out. That's the outer diameter of the bearing. On the old wheel, that is now probably scrap metal. New wheel just came in. Bearings that were in it didn't feel bad, but I have a brand new set of bearings and I don't want the same thing to happen, so we're gonna go ahead and replace them. Just tap that one out. I'm about to clean out the inner diameter, yep, and put all new bearings in it because why not? I stay pressing bearings out with sockets. This is yep. I had to trim this down to fit this inside of that hub, but worked out perfectly. No special tools. Prep the new bearing in with a little bit of grease. Probably tap it in with a piece of wood and a hammer. Get it in there and get started. And then, if we absolutely need to, this is the perfect diameter already to press on the new bearing nice and gently. We'll see how it goes. With the wood, nice and flush. Needs to go in there maybe 1/8 of an inch more, and we'll use our tool we somehow made, press it the rest of the way in. Hopefully it doesn't shatter. She's in. Bonus is this one also popped off the socket. Didn't have to deal with that, so that's nice. I gotta do the rest of the bearings. So anyone curious, I used this bit until I got a tiny lip right on the friggin' wheel hub. Once I got that lip, I ended up switching to a socket that's about the same size of the bearing itself and just tapped it the way in nice and gently, nice and evenly. Not too hard. That way it doesn't leave marring on the side of the bearing. Keeps the bearing in good shape, all that jazz. It's a little bit of finesse and some broke boy redneck ingenuity. Yep. Same thing with this main bearing. Tapped it in flush with the wood, got it flush, and then this socket is literally almost the perfect diameter for the bottom, but it's a little sticky, so I switched to one size lower. Still hitting the outside diameter of that, so that way we're not putting pressure on the inside and causing it to bend inwards. I just tapped it in nice and gently with that. Alright, this is the bearing on the cush drive. Yeah, if you're wondering about these seals, it was in there pretty gently. This side of the bike is thankfully not bad, but all I did was take a freaking long flathead, get it in there and twist it, and that would eventually bring it up without causing too much damage. But I wasn't going to replace this one, but after getting the seal off and seeing some rust in there, and then the bearing is a little, you can probably see it on the camera, it's not smooth. So we're going to replace this one too, same thing. Just going to tap it out with a socket, which I probably already have. Yep, that's like perfect. Just gonna smack the fuck out of it and it'll pop right out. Just like that. Gonna clean that surface up, get it lubed up, and put the new bearing in. Just clean it up, tap it out, clean it up, lube it up, tap the new one in nice and gently. New bearing, buttery smooth, no skip or anything like that, and it's already sitting in the freaking in there. I just gotta freaking tap it in there nice and gently with the freaking piece of wood, just like about like that. I've been doing it like this, sometimes like this, kind of depending on what angle I need. If I need to tap one side over more than the other, you got to be careful when you're doing this to not tap like this side in too much. You got to do it as evenly as possible. sitting in there. It actually pushed in just past the lip, which is perfect with the piece of wood. So we'll take our, I think this is the right one. That's a little smaller than I'd like. What about this one? That's even smaller. Let's see what else I got. I didn't record this bit putting the tire on because it's a pain in the ass, but essentially, if you're doing it yourself with spoons, secret is, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, I just put this side of the bead on over the rim, and while you're trying to fight that last bit over, the secret is the opposite side you want down in the, I forgot what it's called, the center dip or some shit, I don't know. Anyways, I held this part down with my knee, and then the other side where it was creeping over, I held that side down with my knee as well, and then I worked one side of the lip over with the spoons. Went on, now I gotta figure out if I can freaking get this thing to fill up with air. That's gonna be another challenge. Aired up the tire, got lucky and the beads sealed themselves. Didn't have to do some crazy shit. So we're gonna get this on the balancer next. Little cheap at-home wheel balancer for small wheels. It's got centering things for the inside, and what we're looking for is if the heaviest part is settling at the bottom. So it's settled. I'm going to move it just slightly to see if that rests back down on where the valve stem is, because that's probably the heaviest part as of right now, and that looks to be the case. I'm going to flip it upside down. Oh, there's also freaking weights on there that I didn't notice. I'll take those weights off and try this again. 20 ounces opposite of the valve stem, and let's see, still wanting to kind of settle towards the valve stem. I think we're going to take that because eventually I'm going to put Michelin Road 6s on this bike, so I'm not going to go too crazy with this balancing, unless if it vibrates like a motherfucker when I ride it, then obviously it'll be a problem, but I'm going to take it as is. So I did all that, and I forgot to put the snap ring back in. Yep, that is the life. That is the fucking life right there. Thankfully, it's literally the first little part there. I just got to put the dust cover back on, but so to take a wheel back off, put that snap ring in there, and put it back. Now I can go for a ride.